Okay, so as you can all see, we have a couple of special guests here today in the briefing room. I am proud, so proud to welcome to the podium Coach Steve Kerr. Hello. Head coach of the Golden State Warriors and 9-time NBA champion as both a coach and a player, and Steph Curry, 4-time NBA champion and 2-time NBA Most Valuable Player.
So I totally get the championship teams being invited to the White House. It's been happening forever and ever and a day, and that's a great thing. The teams go, meet the president, take pictures, get to talk, this and that, and that's fine. That's the American way. We love sports as Americans. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. But what I don't like is when the athletes or coaches go up to the podium to speak and they got to start talking their politics. They are there for one reason only, to celebrate their championship with the president and with the people there. They're not there to give us their opinion on what's happening in this country. Now, Steve Kerr was the first to take the podium, and he had a few things to say. In the beginning, it was great, celebrating the team's championship last year, and they finally got to go to the White House. But then he had to tell us about a roundtable discussion he was involved in a little while before this press conference. So first I want to show you a clip of Steve Kerr that was about 7 or so months ago, or whenever the Uvalde school shooting happened. He went out before an NBA game and had something to say about it. So watch this clip, and then we'll be right back.
Since we left shoot-around, 14 children were killed 400 miles from here. And a teacher. And in the last 10 days, we've had elderly black people killed in a supermarket in Buffalo. We've had Asian churchgoers killed in Southern California. And now we have children murdered at school. When are we going to do something?
So he was upset, and rightfully so. But he used that platform as the coach of an NBA team to tell people how angry he was and when are we going to do something. Well, when are we going to do something? And when are the politicians in Washington going to do something? I don't know. As far as I can see, they're still not doing anything to stop gun violence because they're blaming the guns. So at the press conference today, Steve Kerr again got up to the podium and had a few words to say, and quite frankly, all he did was push his politics. Have a look.
Thank you so much for having us today. On behalf of the Warriors, I want to thank President Biden and Vice President Harris for the invitation to come to the White House today to celebrate our championship from a year ago. It's a great reminder of how lucky we are to be Americans, to live in a country where we can chase our dreams and enjoy the fruits of our labor and the celebration of all those around us. And to come here today with members of the organization to celebrate is really something special. It was also very fulfilling for me just a little while ago to take part in a roundtable on gun violence and gun safety with some senior White House staffers, along with Klay Thompson and Moses Moody. Over the last hour or so, we learned a lot about what this administration is doing to help create a safer environment in our country, something that's very close to my heart, and it's wonderful for me to learn a lot more than I knew. So coming in today is it's a great day on many fronts. So thanks for the invitation. And
so it was great, right? He thanked them for the White House for inviting them and for showcasing their championship. But then he had to throw in that he was able to take part in a roundtable discussion on gun safety. And he told us that he learned so much more than he already knew, and he learned what the Biden administration is doing to try to stop it, which is nothing. Again, Steve Kerr is a basketball player. He's a basketball coach. I don't see any reason why he should have been involved in a gun safety roundtable to talk about what the Biden administration is doing about gun safety. Because like I've said all along, the guns are not killing people. The people are killing people with the gun. This all boils down to criminals who should be in prison, but they're let out on the streets by weak prosecutors, and mentally ill people having access to a firearm. However they get it, a family member, they steal it, they get them, and they shoot and they kill people, and that's disgusting. What does basketball have to do with gun safety? This is one of the things about the Biden administration that really, really bothers me. They invite celebrities, actors, singers, sports figures to talk politics. That man, and I don't know the man, maybe he's a big gun guy, and that's great. He had, in my opinion, no right to sit in on a round table, if you will, like he said, to talk about gun safety. Were they going to take ideas from him, the basketball coach, on how to curb gun violence? No, because that's not what he does. They need to stick to what they do. They can advocate all they want, but they do not participate in hearings, in discussions that have to do with violence when that's not what they do. That's not their subject. They are athletes. They are coaches. Stick to what you know and let the politicians talk about how we can curb the gun violence, which again, in my opinion, this administration has done nothing and will do nothing because they continue to want to take guns away from law-abiding citizens and let the criminals get them however they want, because you can buy a gun on any street in any state in this country any time of the day or night. Okay? It's not about law-abiding, legal gun owners. We are not the ones out committing mass shootings. It's criminals, again, who belong in prison, and it's mentally ill people that somehow gain access to a firearm. But then it was Steph Curry's turn to take the podium, and he also had a few words to say. And what he said, it just rubbed me the wrong way. He shouldn't have said it, but of course he's a celebrity, so he couldn't help himself. Have a look at this clip.
Over to Mr. Curry.
Thanks, Coach. Echo what he said. I want to thank President Biden and Vice President Harris for the invitation to come here. It's something that we don't ever take for granted. 7 years ago, I believe, we were here last celebrating our first championship, and now back to celebrate our fourth. So to have this opportunity to reflect on the accomplishment last year, to bring everybody together to celebrate that, to also acknowledge the place sports has and bringing people together from all walks of life, all backgrounds, to provide inspiration, hope, love, togetherness, and that's what our journey was last year. So to have another opportunity to celebrate that means a lot, and a great opportunity for us from the basketball community to thank President Biden and his staff for all their hard work and diligence on getting Brittney Griner home. Was a big part of our basketball family, and it means a lot to know that she's here and home safe with her family, and all the work that went on behind the scenes to make that a reality. So I just want to say thank you there, and very excited to be here and celebrate the day.
So like Coach Kerr, he thanked Biden, he thanked Harris for inviting them there. They were there 7 years prior when they had won another championship. Again, wonderful. That's what he should be saying. Thanking the people who extended the invitation to bring them there. But he had to go into it. He wanted to thank Biden and his staff for all their hard work and diligence of bringing Brittney Griner home. The criminal who was held in Russia, Biden brought her home. We all know he gave back a convicted arms dealer, but Steph Curry couldn't help himself. He had to throw that out there, that Biden worked so hard to bring Brittney Griner home. And that's fine, and I have no problem with that. And like I've said in past videos, she should have never got 9 years for what she had, but that's beside the point. These athletes and politicians are using this as a point, saying that she mattered because A, she was a black woman. She mattered because she was a black woman and she was a lesbian. And she mattered because she was an athlete in the WNBA that nobody watches. While there's other Americans sitting in prisons in other countries that Joe Biden is doing zero about. He's doing nothing to try to get them home. This stunt with Brittany Griner was just another way of Joe Biden showcasing how much he cares about this group of people. They talk about unity. They talk about we got to stop racism. They are the most racist politicians in Washington, D.C. And it hurts me to say that, but it's absolutely true. Bringing Brittany Griner home was okay. Again, I have no problem with it. But leaving American troops, or one at least, in Russia, and there are others being held in other countries for God knows how long, and they are doing zero about it. Why? Because they're straight males, or they're Caucasian males, or what? What's the problem? There is a problem with it, because he's pushing the race card. He's using his LGBTQ love to tell the American people, we're going to do it because of who she is. Forget about everybody else. We tried, but we couldn't do it. It's absolutely ridiculous. You got the coach talking about gun violence and getting involved in what they're going to do to stop it. And then you got the basketball player thanking him for his hard work and diligence for bringing Griner home. All the Biden administration does is lie, cheat, and steal. And they want to showcase their politicians, their athletes, actors, actresses, and singers, all the liberal Californians who love them so much because Biden lets them do whatever they want to do. Lets them do whatever they want to do, as long as they keep funneling money into the DNC and into Uncle Joe's campaigns. It's all about money, and it's absolute bullshit, and I'm so tired of hearing it. Let the athletes be athletes, the coaches be coaches. Again, if you want to advocate for something, that's fine, but you don't belong taking part in hearings or meetings at the White House for something that you're not involved in. This country is going to hell in a handbasket with these people. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't give a shit about celebrities, because then they don't do anything for me. They make millions of dollars to do a job. That's their job, to be an actor or a ball player. Stick to that and let the experts, gun experts, police, whatever, and yeah, the politicians, let them try to figure it out, because Joe Biden can't figure it out. And while this administration is in office, they're never going to figure it out, because they're pointing the finger at the guns. And one more time, we know the guns aren't killing the people. The mentally ill people, the criminals with the guns, are killing the people. And that's it. And that's my opinion.